The arena fell silent, until one moment shattered everything. Tonight, WWE delivered a message so bold, so direct, that fans everywhere knew it was aimed straight at AEW. From the instant the cameras started rolling, the energy inside the building felt different. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as WWE opened the show with an unexpected cold open featuring Cody Rhodes standing center stage, staring directly into the lens. The crowd erupted into chaos, chanting his name so loudly that production had to delay the commentary feed. Viewers on social media went wild within seconds, convinced that something massive was brewing. Cody began speaking, but it wasn't his usual confident promo style. There was tension in his voice, controlled, deliberate, almost like every word had been approved by someone very high up. "We don't run from competition," he said, pacing slowly along the ropes. "We don't avoid challenges, we face them head on." Instantly hashtags exploded online. Everyone knew exactly what he was referring to, even though he never said it. AEW's recent storyline jab at WWE had become a talking point all week, and now Cody was responding on live TV without ever naming the company. It was subtle, but dangerously direct. But the real shock came moments later. The lights shut off completely. A single spotlight hit the entrance ramp, and out walked Seth Rollins in a brand new jacket featuring a design eerily similar to colors AEW had been using in recent promotional graphics. Fans in the arena gasped. Viewers online clipped the entrance instantly, calling it a visual warning shot. Rollins grabbed a microphone but didn't speak. Instead, he looked at Cody, then looked straight into the hard cam, smirked, and tapped the AEW colored stripe on his jacket. The message wasn't spoken, it was sent. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were losing it online, calling the moment the boldest crossover tease WWE had ever done without actually crossing any lines. The crowd erupted at the symbolism, and even commentators sounded shaken, forced to pretend it was random while everyone knew it wasn't. But just when people thought the moment couldn't get any more explosive, something happened that made fans jump from their seats. A mysterious sound hit the arena speakers, a distorted, glitching audio cue that nobody recognized at first. Some thought it was a production botch. Others thought it was a tease for a returning superstar. But the atmosphere changed instantly. Every phone in the arena went up. Everyone sensed that something major was about to hit. Suddenly, a ripple of whispers swept through the audience as a shadowy figure appeared behind the LED boards. Fans swore they saw movement, a silhouette slipping out of sight, adding panic and excitement to the moment. Suddenly, and as the lights flickered ominously, Cody and Rollins both turned toward the stage, waiting, because someone or something was about to appear. The arena froze. Every heartbeat echoed like a drum as the mysterious silhouette vanished behind the LED boards. Nobody knew who it was, but everyone felt the tension building. Cody Rhodes scanned the stage with narrowed eyes, and Seth Rollins stepped forward like he was ready to fight a ghost. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as the camera cut two wide shots showing confused security sprinting toward the production area. The crowd erupted into chaos when the glitching sound returned, this time louder and more deliberate. Viewers on social media went wild, convinced the entire moment was a direct dig at AEW's signature surprise debut format. We seemed to be turning the tables and doubling down. Suddenly, the Titantron sparked to life, displaying scrambled words that flickered too quickly to catch, but fans screenshot every frame. Online detectives decoded one message: your move. That single phrase set the wrestling world on fire. People were already calling it the boldest moment of the year, a psychological strike disguised as a storyline beat, and it wasn't over. As Cody and Rollins watched the Tron glitch, a new figure stepped through the curtain. Drew McIntyre, marching with furious intensity. He wasn't scheduled, he wasn't advertised. His expression said everything. He had something to say, and WWE was giving him the spotlight to help deliver the message. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as Drew stormed straight toward the ring, snatching a microphone before it even fully reached his hand. "Mind games," Drew growled. "They want to send messages. Well, here's one from us." The crowd erupted into chaos again as he pointed toward the stage. "We don't need surprises. We don't need debuts. We run the show because we built the show." Social media exploded instantly. Fans split into factions, arguing if Drew was shooting, working, or intentionally blurring the line. Viewers on social media went wild, sharing clips of his expression, intense, unfiltered, almost unhinged. The entire segment felt dangerously real, like WWE had decided to answer AEW's shots by unleashing every top name in an unplanned, escalating war of words. But then the lights cut again. This time, it wasn't a glitch. A slow, pulsing red hue washed over the arena. Cody and Rollins stood ready. Drew turned his back toward the ramp, preparing to strike. Everyone in the audience leaned forward, recording, screaming, and speculating. The tension lifted the entire arena like electricity. A voice, distorted, metallic, unfamiliar, whispered through the speakers. "You're late." The crowd gasped. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. The commentary desk fell silent. Even Drew lowered his microphone slightly, as if he didn't expect that line. Then a single symbol flashed across the Titantron, a shape that looked like a cracked hourglass. Something no one recognized, something not tied to any WWE superstar. And that's when everyone realized the silhouette from earlier might not belong to anyone fans expected. The cracked hourglass glowed on the Titantron, and the entire arena felt the temperature drop. Something or someone was coming, and WWE clearly wanted the world to see it. Cody Rhodes exchanged a tense glance with Seth Rollins, while Drew McIntyre tightened his fists, ready for impact. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as the arena lights slowly dimmed again, leaving only the red glow of the hourglass symbol pulsing like a heartbeat. The crowd erupted into chaos, chanting names, theories, and wild guesses. Viewers on social media went wild, immediately claiming this was another message aimed squarely at AEW, an eerie counter to their recent cryptic debut teasers. Then, without warning, the Titantron shattered into static. A hooded figure appeared on the screen, sitting in a dark room lit only by a swinging light bulb. Their voice was distorted beyond recognition. "Time's almost up," the figure whispered. "You fired the first shot. Now you'll see how we respond." The arena exploded. Fans screamed. Commentators stuttered. Every single person, watching live or at home, instantly felt it. This wasn't a teaser for a returning WWE superstar. This felt like a direct mockery of AEW's style of mysterious vignettes, except WWE's version was darker, sharper, more cinematic. Viewers on social media went wild, instantly comparing it to classic invasion angles. The hooded figure raised a hand toward the camera, revealing a glove marked with the same cracked hourglass symbol. Then the feed cut abruptly. Suddenly, the house lights snapped back on. Drew McIntyre was no longer looking at the screen. He was looking toward the back of the arena. He pointed, shouting something off mic. Cody and Rollins spun around. Fans in the upper sections stood on their seats, recording, yelling, pushing forward to see what Drew saw. A man wearing a long black coat was stepping through a side entrance, not the ramp, not the tunnel, but the crowd itself. Security tried to intercept him, but he moved with unsettling calm. He wasn't running, he wasn't hiding. He walked straight toward ringside, as if he knew nobody would stop him. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The crowd erupted into chaos as the man reached the barricade and slowly lifted his head. But before his face could be revealed, the arena lights flickered violently, plunging everything into darkness. Screams, cell phone lights, total confusion. Then a single spotlight cut through the black. It wasn't aimed at the hooded man. It was aimed at Cody Rhodes, whose eyes widened as he noticed something in the ring that wasn't there before. A small metal hourglass. Its glass cracked, sand leaking onto the canvas. Cody picked it up slowly, his hands trembling with a mixture of anger and confusion. Drew barked at ringside security. Rollins paced like a madman. The message had been sent. But the real fear hit everyone when the lights flickered again and the hourglass symbol reappeared. Larger, sharper, louder. Because now it was clear, this wasn't a tease. It was a warning. The hourglass symbol loomed over the arena like a threat carved into reality itself. Fans knew the game had changed, and WWE had just escalated to an entirely new level. Cody Rhodes held the cracked hourglass in his hand, the sand slowly spilling onto the mat. Seth Rollins circled him, eyes darting toward the shadowy figure still lurking near ringside. Drew McIntyre bellowed at security, demanding they remove the intruder. But the man simply stood there, unmoved, as if daring anyone to make a move. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The crowd erupted into chaos, phones flashing everywhere, capturing every unsettling second. Viewers on social media went wild, clips going viral within minutes as speculation ran rampant. Who is he? Is this AEW? Is WWE sending a real-life warning? The discussion exploded. Then, the shadowed figure lifted his hood. For a split second, the lights flickered again, revealing a mask. It was unlike anything seen before in WWE or AEW, black with cracked gold patterns resembling the hourglass. Fans in the arena screamed. Even the commentators stuttered, trying to process what they were witnessing. Cody froze, recognizing the symbolism but unable to place its origin. The silence was deafening until the figure spoke. "You thought it was a game," the distorted voice echoed, "but this is reality. Every move you make is being watched." The hooded figure's tone carried an edge of menace that made the hairs on everyone's arms stand on end. Drew clenched his fists, stepping closer, while Rollins stayed defensive, eyes locked on the figure. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was as if WWE had orchestrated a cinematic masterpiece of tension and suspense, one that blurred the lines between storyline and real threat. Viewers on social media went wild again, theorizing who or what could be behind this symbol. Suddenly, the arena lights cut again, plunging everything into darkness. Cody's heartbeat seemed audible in the silence. A single spotlight illuminated the ring apron. revealing that the hooded figure had disappeared, leaving only the cracked hourglass behind. Drew McIntyre yelled into the darkness, demanding answers, while Rollins lunged toward the shadows. But there was nothing to grab. The crowd erupted in panic and excitement, their chants mixing with screams and camera flashes. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. WWE had pulled off one of the most shocking, cinematic stunts in recent memory. Then, just as quickly as it had disappeared, the hourglass exploded, not literally, but the LED screens flashed violently. Images of Cody, Drew, and Rollins overlaid with the cracked hourglass symbol, repeating endlessly. It was a cinematic overload, meant to intimidate, shock, and enthrall simultaneously. Viewers on social media went wild, creating hundreds of posts speculating about the meaning. Fans theorized this was the beginning of a months-long angle, or perhaps even a surprise crossover, but nobody could say for sure. WWE had masterfully blurred reality with storyline, leaving everyone guessing. And just as the screens calmed, a familiar figure appeared on the Titantron, one no fan expected to see tonight. His entrance music hadn't played yet, but everyone knew the second they saw the silhouette. Cody, Drew, and Rollins all turned, stunned. The arena gasped. Because the next act in this war was about to begin, and it would change everything fans thought they knew about WWE's intentions. The Titantron lit up, and the arena collectively held its breath. Tonight, WWE wasn't just sending a message, it was delivering a declaration of war. The familiar chords of a returning superstar's theme hit the speakers, and the crowd erupted instantly. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, strode down the ramp, exuding dominance and authority. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The crowd erupted into chaos, chants echoing off every wall. Viewers on social media went wild, clips spreading like wildfire. Roman didn't rush. He walked slowly, each step deliberate, every eye in the arena glued to his presence. Seth Rollins backed away slightly, Drew McIntyre's jaw tightened, and Cody Rhodes clenched his fists, realizing this wasn't a simple promo. It was a full-scale WWE statement aimed directly at AEW and any challengers watching. Roman stopped mid-ramp, looking at the ring, then the Titantron, the cracked hourglass symbol flickered behind him, almost as if acknowledging his arrival. Cody's mind raced. The arena's energy shifted into a dangerous mix of excitement and tension. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. WWE had escalated its cryptic messaging into a full-on spectacle featuring one of its biggest stars. The commentary team was nearly speechless, struggling to balance shock with analysis, while viewers on social media went wild trying to decipher every nuance. Roman stepped into the ring slowly, his eyes scanning Cody, Drew, and Rollins. Without a word, he raised his hand, signaling a moment of authority. The crowd erupted again, sensing that Roman's presence meant the storyline had reached a new level of intensity. Cody tried to speak, but the tribal chief silenced the room with a mere glance. Drew McIntyre's body tensed, muscles ready for action. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as WWE had transformed a standard show into a cinematic high-stakes thriller, blurring the lines between reality and entertainment. Suddenly, Roman reached under the ring and lifted a metallic, cracked hourglass, identical to the one Cody had been holding moments ago. The symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. This wasn't just WWE teasing AEW, it was a direct, visual statement. WWE controlled the narrative, the power, and the spectacle. Viewers on social media went wild, theorizing that Roman was the ultimate arbiter of this mysterious message war. The crowd in the arena chanted his name, a mixture of awe and fear filling the room. As Roman held the hourglass aloft, the lights flickered one final time. The arena seemed suspended in time, every fan frozen in anticipation. Cody, Drew, and Rollins glanced at one another, uncertainty and determination written across their faces. The shadowy figure from earlier appeared briefly at ringside before vanishing into the crowd again, leaving everyone to question if this was over or if the real confrontation was just beginning. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The tension was unbearable. The spectacle, cinematic perfection. And then Roman spoke. "Consider this your warning," he said, voice low and commanding. "We are WWE. This is our house, and the next move is yours." The crowd erupted into chaos once more. Viewers on social media went wild, theorizing, predicting, debating. WWE had delivered a statement so shocking, so cinematic, that fans everywhere knew this storyline would dominate headlines for weeks. The camera zoomed in on Roman holding the hourglass, Cody staring back defiantly, Drew ready for war, and Rollins pacing with intensity. The cliffhanger was clear, the battle lines were drawn, and the world was watching.